That's Manhattanhenge. It is back for 2 nights only. It's the phenomenon when the sunset just aligns with the New York City street grid. And if you missed that over the last few nights, you can still try and catch a glimpse this evening when the sun goes down. I'm going to do exactly that. And do the summer days, do they just feel shorter right now? Well, they actually will be for 3 days this summer. Coming up on July 22nd and August 5th, the Earth's rotation will be faster, causing days to be shorter than usual. That's according to the International Rotation and Reference System Service. While we'll only approximately lose milliseconds, this all points to bigger changes happening to our planet. So let's go ahead and bring in ABC News contributor and astrophysicist Hakeem Oluseyi, joining us now. Thank you so much, Hakeem, my friend. It is good to see you. So let's start with this. In total, there are 3 dates, with the most recent happening on July 9th. What's happening with the Earth's rotation here? Is there a reason for the speed up?
Gino, good to see you, man. And I love your starry background. The short answer is we don't really know exactly why this is happening, but there are a couple of primary forces that are affecting Earth's rotation rate. One has to do with the gravitational interaction between the Earth and the moon. The long-term trend is that due to what we call tidal friction, this rotation rate of the Earth is slowing down. And and also related to this, the moon is very slowly moving away from the Earth. So what that means is you go back a few billion years, the day was much shorter, around 10 hours, and the moon was a lot closer, which means we had tsunamis twice a day that represented our tides. But what's going on now is a very slight change. So can you get these slight changes? Well, when the moon is near the Earth's equator, you have more tidal friction as it moves toward the poles in its orbit, right? The orbital plane tilts, you get less tidal friction. Sometimes the moon is closer to the Earth, sometimes it's farther away. At the beginning of summer in the northern hemisphere, the moon is at about its furthest point. So you also get less tidal friction. But the Earth itself is doing crazy stuff. So what do I mean by that? The Earth has a rigid crust, but there's a lot of fluids going on, both on the surface of the Earth and in the interior. So there's a constant push and pull between the solid and the fluid parts of Earth. A huge portion of Earth's interior, what we call the outer core, is molten metal, right? And so that stuff sloshing around, we have the ocean sloshing around, we have the atmosphere, and we have melting glaciers all over the place. So all of this, you can tell, is a very complicated story, and you can make the measurement, and what you find, and you do the calculation, is that the Earth's day is going to be about a millionth of a second shorter.
That's so fascinating that all of that is happening. Hakeem, we also were talking about Manhattanhenge, right? That incredible phenomenon where we're just lining the streets of New York. People are out there with their phones taking those gorgeous pictures. What makes this event so special?
Man, let me tell you, so many things. I lead an organization called the Astronomical Society of the Pacific. And one of the things that we do is we have ambassadors all around the country in our Night Sky Network, in our Eclipse ambassadors that are, we love these types of events because they show us that we're not just, divorced from the universe, we're embedded in it. And so when we have total solar eclipses, when we have something like Manhattanhenge, it comes down to Earth. So in the past, in the ancient past, such an event would be sacred. Today, they're Instagrammable, right? These are photo ops. But what this has to do with is the fact that the sun moves, it creeps along the horizon, right? So from the shortest day of the year, what we call the summer solstice, to the longest day of the year, the winter solstice, to the longest day of the year, which is the summer solstice, the first day of summer, the sun gradually moves along the horizon. And so in Manhattan, the streets are not aligned directly east-west. So as the sun is creeping toward the point of the summer solstice, it passes between these buildings. And then as it's going back, it passes in the other direction. So about 3 weeks before the solstice and about 3 weeks after the solstice, which happens around June 20th, you get these perfect alignments. Now, what this reminds
Hakeem, we've got to go because we're about to hit a commercial break. But I love how passionate you are. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you, my man. Hakeem Oluseyi, appreciate you.